On this episode of Salt Lake Insider, we're at the Salt Lake Country Club sitting down with Danny Young, the founder of the FlutterBy IzzyJane Foundation. On this episode... Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Salt Lake Insider episode number 7. My name is Dustin Brohm. I am the host of the show and I am a real estate agent here in Salt Lake. But today I am sitting here at the Salt Lake Country Club. I think they call it the Country Club now, right?
Yep, the Country Club.
The Country Club in Sugar House overlooking the mountains. Awesome backdrop. And I'm sitting here with Danny Young. He is not only, so Danny and I actually go way back to grade school, I think.
Yeah.
We've lived in the same neighborhood forever. We actually got connected in real estate not too long ago because he's one of the best mortgage lenders that I've come across in Salt Lake with Academy Mortgage. And the reason why we're here today is he founded a foundation, a charity called FlutterBy IzzyJane, and I'll let him explain what they do and why they do it. So Danny, how would you describe your foundation to somebody who's never heard of FlutterBy IzzyJane? First off, am I even pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, yep, FlutterBy IzzyJane,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
yep,
so what do you guys do and why do you do it?
Okay, so yeah, we're a nonprofit organization. We're a 501c3 where we go in and we help families with stillborn babies pay for funeral expenses, headstones, any hospital bills that they have.
Wow.
Basically step in and help when you're expecting to have a baby. Last thing you want to have happen is your baby pass away, and the last thing you want to pay for is funeral expenses and those different things. So
Sure.
We step in and provide a little bit of hope and a little bit of light in a very tough situation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so my understanding is it's not just a random cause that you decided to pick up.
Yeah, so we had a stillborn 6 years ago. Our very first child, it was IzzyJane. And she was stillborn at 41 weeks. Basically, we were expecting to go in and deliver her on a Thursday. My wife hadn't gone into labor quite yet, and they said, hey, come in on Thursday. We went in, and she had passed away a few hours before we got to the hospital, which was very crazy. Life at that moment changed.
Sure.
And it was, a very hard thing to deal with, but
sure.
We've founded the organization because we wanted to provide, something that gave back to the community, kept her name alive. So it's been a very humbling, a very great opportunity to give back in a unique way.
So I have a 3-year-old boy and one on the way. It's something that I can't really wrap my head around, and I don't want to wrap my head around it.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah. We'll leave that
keep
there.
Keep it at that.
Yeah. But how big is the need for what you guys do? Like, because with social media, what it is, and how much stories can get exposure now, I still don't hear about that many stories.
Yeah.
But how prevalent is stillborn?
So there in the U.S. right now, there's about 26,000 that happen every year. So too many. But yeah, it's not something that does happen a ton. Right now, though, in the state, we have our little bracelets that we give out that we'll probably talk about a little later. 2 hospitals that give these out to families who have stillborns, and then they apply for assistance online. And right now, we're paying for 2 to 4 funerals every month. So it's happening more than it should.
Sure.
But something that we're able to help with.
When I hear that you're doing that many each month, like that's hard. But at the same time, thank God you guys are able to give back like that and help those families. I imagine that's a huge comfort to them.
Yes. It makes, so Molly and I, we reach out to basically each of these families that apply and say, hey, we need some help or would like some help. And it's really great to be able to step in and say, you know what, I know exactly where you are. I've been there. Here's kind of what you can expect. Here's some things that, people say that may not sound perfect, or you're like, that was really mean, like, this, so those type of things we can kind of step in and be, kind of that, person to help them cope with some of the things that are going to come next.
Sure.
And then provide, and it's someone who's experienced it firsthand. So talking to someone who knows exactly where you're at does make a huge difference. And the response we get from people, the thank you notes, the emails that we get after we help somebody, make it all worth it. Make it, hey, this is why we did this. It's
right.
You know, giving back, and it's making a difference.
Right. When you guys were dealing with this yourselves, were there any organizations similar that would provide you guys with this? Is that what kind of inspired it?
There's a couple. There's the Share Foundation that they basically help with, you know, infant loss, you know, stillborns, child loss.
Yeah.
Where they step in and have a, you know, a great organization that way. They have people that come in and take pictures of your child, and then they do molds of the hands and the feet of your babies and whatnot. So great organization, and we had a lot of friends and family kind of step in and help us. So it was like, you know what, that was so great to have a little bit of extra help when that was the last thing I wanted to be spending money on.
Right.
So it was nice, and that's where the idea was like, hey, let's start a foundation where we can step in. We don't necessarily need to know these people. We're going to be connected on a, you know, a sad level,
right.
But we can come in and say, hey, we want to provide some help and bring some light to your life for a few minutes in this dark situation.
Right. Tell us about these bracelets. You mentioned the bracelets earlier. What are those for? If somebody wants to get involved, how do the bracelets fall into that?
So we have these the little bracelets. They say forever on them. We have a little baby-sized one and then one for the mother. And right now they're in every hospital here in Salt Lake. So
really,
yeah,
awesome.
Every place has them, and they pass them out to the families who go through it. And we do sell them online. A lot of families like to buy them and have them. They're cute little bracelets for moms, daughters, you know, everybody. So it's been a cool thing to have something that ties the mom and the baby together, even though they're apart.
And you have one here that you can show us, right?
Yeah, I do.
Let's see it. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
No,
here.
You're good. Here's cool. Kind of the box that they come in that we sell on our website, and then these are the exact boxes that go to the hospitals here in town that are, you know, handed out.
Awesome. So, very cool. When did you guys found the foundation?
So it was technically November of 2011.
Okay, November of 2011.
6 years ago.
Since then, since you guys have been doing this for so many families, what has been, I imagine it's very rewarding and probably something I can't really comprehend. Has there been any particular situation that's been more memorable than others, or like what have you gained from what you guys have been able to do for others through the foundation?
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, every family that we do help is a very meaningful conversation that we have with these people.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, get to know somebody on a much deeper level than a normal, hey, how are you, you know, conversation.
Right.
But there has been a few where we've been able to help actually close friends, you know, friends, family members, where that becomes just that much deeper of a level where it's like, hey, this is really cool to be able to help someone that I actually know.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things is where our little Izzy's buried in Wasatch Lawn, there's another little baby that we help pay for the headstone, basically kind of in her same little, we call it her little castle. There's basically a grove of trees that looks kind of like a castle, and there's little baby plots around the very edge inside this tree line. So our little Izzy's buried on one side, and literally right across the way is this other little baby that we, you know, help pay for their headstone and some of their costs. And so it's really cool when we go, we always stop by our I have two little boys now that are Izzy's little brothers, that every time we go and we stop by this little headstone. And it's, hey, this is a little baby that's with your sister, and we actually helped, you know, this family out. And it's kind of a cool thing to help our boys understand that there's more to life than just playing and having a good time all the time. Sad things happen, and you can just still move forward, and life is good, and you recognize the small, simple things.
And they're gaining a perspective that my boy doesn't have. You know, I think that's pretty special. It's not pleasant, but
of course.
It's a perspective that they're going to have that most kids don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun, I mean, even too, when we go, so every year on her birthday, we go, we make a bunch of these little boxes of the bracelets, and we go and deliver them to the hospitals. Nice. And the boys love it. They take them in, and it's, hey, this is, you know, our sister's, you know, name are on these boxes, and creates the story where we can actually talk about her sister that is no longer on this earth.
Right.
She's up in heaven looking over you. It's a very fun, way to make a crappy situation good.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
It does. So people who want to get involved, what can they do? You guys are a nonprofit organization.
Yep.
Obviously, you accept donations.
Yeah.
And here's something that's cool. Since Amazon Smile,
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So if you're an Amazon Prime member, I think anyone who buys anything from Amazon, you can just go to like smile.amazon.com and select a charity, and you guys are actually one of the choices, so that a percentage of every purchase can go towards your foundation. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Every year since we started that, we've probably raised a few $100s.
Awesome.
Just from people buying. We buy a ton of stuff on Amazon.
From buying dog food, and
and
water balloons,
air gun, Nerf guns. We bought a couple of days ago.
These are all our most recent purchases, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Diapers, wipes, all the fun stuff.
Exactly. So how can people get involved above and beyond that and just making a donation online?
Yeah, obviously those things are great and fantastic, and we appreciate anybody's willingness to help us continue this cause moving forward. But we have events that people can come to. Sometimes we need volunteers for those events. If you want to do that, we'd be more than happy to have you come and help us. We have an event coming up at Topgolf on September 21st. It's a great opportunity to come and support the foundation, hang out at a cool place. Obviously, we hope to raise some money during that event. And
what's your goal? Do you have a goal in mind for fundraising?
Our goal is about $10,000, which we think we're going to have we're planning on, we reserved the whole bottom floor at Topgolf, which holds about 210 people. We have about half of the event sold out, or sold so far, hoping to have it sold out here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it should be awesome.
So we'll put a link, if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll link up the information for that event, September 21st.
Yep, it's a Thursday night.
Thursday night at Topgolf in Midvale. You like Topgolf, don't you?
I like Top. I'm a golfer.
Yes.
I prefer to be golfing.
Kind of explains why we're here at the country club.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool. My wife and I will be there at that
Awesome.
at that fundraiser. Aside from being able to do what little we can to help the foundation, we can't turn down a trip to Topgolf either. So that was a wise choice.
It's a good spot where you can come, kind of make it a date night, and it's fun to hang out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anything else you want people to know about FlutterBy IzzyJane? So it's the FlutterBy IzzyJane Foundation, correct?
Yes, correct.
Anything else you want people to know about the foundation? And
no, we're the FlutterBy name came from, to give you a little background on that,
I'm sure some people are wondering.
Yeah, they're like, where does FlutterBy come from? What is that? So
it's kind of goofy to say.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird name. But so the way we had Izzy's room set up, there was butterflies all over her room, in her nursery. Actually, the little dress that she is buried in has butterflies all over it. So butterflies and FlutterBy, the idea was Izzy kind of fluttered into our life as a butterfly for a few minutes. Right. We got to have those experiences with her for a little bit. And we want to do that to other people. We want to flutter by, just something brief. We don't know most of these people. But hey, we want to come in, basically make our presence known, and then be gone. And it was just a simple little thing. And that's kind of where the foundation name kind of came from, was based on butterflies, and they're beautiful, and we like when they come around. It reminds us of kind of what we do. So.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. I did not know that that background. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for telling your story.
You're welcome.
It's probably not something you enjoy doing very often, but
it's something that
for a good cause.
It's for a good cause, and the more we talk about it, it is something that and that's what we tell all of our families that we help. Hey, it's very good. It's healthy to talk about it. This is an experience that you've had. This is a child that's a part of your family. That it is something that you should talk about. And people are going to want to say stuff, and they may say dumb things. But if someone says something Exhibit A, no.
Yeah.
But if they're reaching out and they're going that extra mile, they're very uncomfortable too, because they don't know what to say. Exactly. So if they're saying something, we have the opportunity to talk about it. It's a good thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching Salt Lake Insider episode number 7 with Danny Young, the founder of FlutterBy IzzyJane. And your event, again, your fundraiser is at Topgolf, Thursday, September 21st?
September 21st from
Perfect.
6 to 9 p.m.
Perfect. So look in the, if you're watching this on Facebook, look in the post. On YouTube, look in the description. We'll have a link to that event page so you can join in and come meet us and hang out with us at Topgolf.
Love to see you there.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.